Subscribe, hit the bell, like, comment, and share now to the video.
Hello guys, D-Man here, and today we are reviewing a Netflix TV show, or a Netflix series, I guess. It is Sex Education. Not the type you learn at school or from your parents, but the type where it's a show and it's from Netflix, and it's an original from Netflix, at least I think it is. At least that's what it says on my Netflix. Maybe it says something different on your Netflix, but I'm from Canada, so a lot of these shows don't get shown on different apps on Canada because we don't have those apps. So this Netflix exclusive Sex Education is basically, it evolves around these three main characters, three main kids. The main character, which is a young white man, which is a young white boy, I should say, not even a man, a boy. A young white girl, and a young black boy. And this whole thing is, it has a quite interesting premise. Sadly, some of the things in there are kind of like lame and kind of just, what would you call it again? Tropes, I guess. They're kind of tropey. So basically, this is very I wouldn't say raunchy necessarily, but maybe what would I say? Not raunchy really, more like just edgy, I guess. It's kind of like one of those edgy comedies. It's actually pretty funny in some parts. Some parts it's not really funny. The teenagers acting, or like the young adults, I would assume they're not teenagers. I'm assuming they're young adults because some of them do get naked in the show, and I assume that because I'm pretty sure they're from UK, so I assume in the UK that's still illegal. So I'm assuming they're young adult actors, but in the show they're playing teenagers in high school. So some of it is actually very uh, just cringy at times, but most of the time it's actually fairly good. And the way they portray teenagers is kind of realistic, yet kind of not. So it's like it's too dramatized. It's very dramatized to a certain extent. Like the black guy is gay, and basically a lot of people hate him for that. And I guess that does happen in real life for sure. It obviously does. Um, but it's a little bit too dramatized, a little bit. And like he even gets attacked for being gay. And I'm sure that does happen in real life. Of course, I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm sure that does happen. Uh, I just I just think it's a little bit too dramatized there. And then he gets into a fight with his best friend because he basically blames him for it happening, sort of thing, and it's kind of ridiculous. The young white guy has trouble masturbating because his mom's a sex therapist, and for some reason that messed up his head or something like that. I didn't really get that whole premise, but he has trouble masturbating, which I assume means he has trouble screwing someone, but he hasn't tried yet, obviously. And the young girl is basically just a girl who's kind of like the quote unquote whore of the group, but she's not really a whore. She's just been called that because she's being bullied. And there's also a bully character in there that turns out to be gay as well, which is kind of like, okay, you could totally see that coming at a certain point. At a certain point when you were watching, you're like, I can see that coming. Um, this whole show has a lot of things in it that are funny, a lot of things that work, but a lot of things that don't work. Uh, but yeah, in premise, it's funny, and it's actually pretty funny. If I were to rate it 1 to 10, I'd give this like. By the way, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, 5 being average. I'd give this like a 7 at least. It's a pretty good show. I would suggest watching it. I think it only has 8 episodes, if I'm not mistaken, at least for the first season. Uh, and it all revolves around these kids and stuff like that, or not kids, I guess technically in real reality, but in this show they are kids. So it all revolves around them and this guy giving sex, not education, I guess, but sex therapy to his fellow teenagers. And it seems like he does it really well because his mom's a sex therapist, even though that's not how it works in real life. But whatever. So he does it really well, and then it kind of revolves around this drama that happens between them. Like he likes the girl that he finds there. He likes her, this girl that's supposedly a whore sort of thing. He finds her, he likes her, and he's just like, oh, I really like you and stuff like that. But he doesn't say that obviously because he's a kid. And he's kind of just like embarrassed to say it. And then she has a boyfriend, but then at the end she breaks up with her boyfriend, and it's kind of like one of those tropes where she realizes she likes the guy, but he's actually with another girl, and then you have to wait till the next season to see what happens, sort of thing. It's very tropey at times, very funny at times. At other times, it's just kind of it's good but kind of stupid. It's good but kind of stupid. It has a lot of tropes in there. Like the girl realizing that she likes you, but then it's too late. By the way, if you're ever in a relationship, the best thing I can not in a relationship. If you're ever in a situation where you like someone, the best thing I can suggest to tell you is that you should go tell that person that you like them. And I know that might be harsh, or it might be like, oh, I can't do that sort of thing. But yes, you can, because you gotta go tell that person that you like them. Because if you don't, it could be too late, because they could get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And the worst that can happen is they reject you. Well, I guess technically that's not the worst that can happen. I guess they could, like, laugh at you, and you be made a laughing stock, or maybe they're so offended they, like, punch you in the face or try to kill you or something like that. I doubt that would happen, but maybe they would laugh at you and you might become a laughing stock. But you're in, like, high school or whatever you are in, or even if you're an adult, it's fine. Just move on with your life. Just ask them, see if they like you, and if they say no, just move on with your life. That's the best information I can give you. Because if you don't want to have regrets about like that stuff. Like, you don't want to think like, what could have been if I asked her, and you don't want to be like, oh man, like I hate this because now she's going out with someone, or now he's going out with someone. You know, like that's a shitty feeling. So if you ever like someone, just ask them out. And when they say no, if they say no, I should say, not when, but if they say no, just accept it and move on. Not necessarily give up on them, because maybe in a later date they might say yes, but just don't become a creepy stalker that tries to get them to like you. Just try to move on, try to mingle with other people and find other people, and maybe eventually they might like you, but maybe you'll like someone else by then. You know, it's the way of life, and it's gonna suck. And even in this show, they have something similar to that, but it's a little bit more extreme because the guy wants to commit suicide because she doesn't like him. I do like that kind of message, because eventually you might find someone that likes you. Eventually. But yeah, the show in general, it's okay. It has good moments in it, bad moments in it, some cringy moments in it. The acting, I would say, fairly damn good. I would even say it's better than the Titans, the new one. In general, it's good. It's good. It's not like super good, not bad. It's just good. But anyways, that's my review on this. I hope you liked it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell notification button because you like my content. And as always, my friends, stay sane. Get some sex education, because that's always good for preventing pregnancies and STDs and stuff like that. And also teaching your kids about that will work if you're a parent. You should really teach your kids about that, because you don't want your kids getting the worst disease of all, children. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But anyways, sex education is good if it's coming from a professional. Peace. Before we go, I'd just like to say, I hope you liked the video. Hit one of these other videos to watch more content. Subscribe, share, like, and all that jazz. And I hope you have a wonderful day or night, whichever one it is. And as always, my friends, stay sane. Peace. Now, watch one of my other videos, please.